time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste. So you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life. You better do the damn thing right.
Welcome back to the ShoeBender podcast. It's been a while, guys, and I'm so glad to be back. Thankfully, I've honestly been waiting on sports to finally, kick back up, to finally actually be able to start dropping stuff, to actually have stuff to talk about. Excuse me, because honestly, there hadn't been too much stuff to talk about in the sports world, but we're back, y'all. We're back in this full force, and this legit is the last week without NFL football till literally February, and college football. So, and then, obviously the NBA is going to get sprinkled in there. We got the WNBA in the playoffs right now. The MLB is about to start in their playoffs. So, sports is wrapping all the way back up right now. We got the World Cup coming up in November. So I'm just super excited, man. Sorry, I'm just running out of breath because I'm just so excited right now. But yeah, everything's been going on pretty firing off in all cylinders in all the sports worlds. We'll definitely start off in the NFL world just because that's the most recent one that's literally going all crazy right now, because it's literally about to start this Thursday with the Bills and the Rams, the defending champs. They only got better. The Rams only got better, but the Bills got better as well. So it's going to be really nice to see that matchup right there. It's going to be two heavy hitters. This could legit be the Super Bowl playoff. The Super Bowl preview for this year. Because a lot of people, especially a lot of analysts, they got the Bills going to the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, people got the Rams going back. I really don't see the Rams going back, just because, you never know. Their team's very injury prone. Cooper Kupp's pretty injury prone. Matthew Stafford has been injury prone his career. And those are especially two positions, especially those two guys, mainly those two guys, forget the positions, that you really can't have missing. And then, they got a new left tackle this year because their Hall of Fame tackle, or I don't even know if he's going to be a Hall of Fame, but me personally, I really like what Whitworth did in his NFL career. They have to replace him, and that's going to be really hard. And then, you lose Von Miller, who went to the Buffalo Bills. And it's going to help them try to win the championship. And, from what it shows in his track record, if he's on your defense and it's already good defense, you usually end up winning the Super Bowl, man. So he has a good track record there. And then, it's just a good matchup everywhere. They match up great. Each team has great corners, or at least a great corner, because you got White coming back for the Bills. They got linemen. You got Donald on the other side. You got Von Miller on the other side now. You got Stafford. You got Allen. You got Kupp. You got Diggs. It's a good matchup all over the place. It's going to be a really great game. So if you're obviously an NFL fan or a big fan of these teams, you're gonna love this game. I'll definitely tune in. I got the Rams winning just for the simple fact that they are at home. It's rare that the Super Bowl champion loses at home, that home opening game. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the stat, or if you look up the stat, the home opener, the home team usually wins. So I got them winning, but it's going to be a really close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills did win. They're a really solid team, and honestly, they got the help where they needed it, and that's in the pass rush. They still got Ed Oliver over there. They got a still solid team over there. You got probably one of the best safety duos in Hyde and Poyer over there. So it's gonna be a great matchup. It's gonna be a really good matchup. We'll see how Bobby Wagner fits in that Ram scheme. I feel like he's gonna fit in perfectly. Having Aaron Donald in front of you and then having Jalen Ramsey on the other side, shutting a whole side of the field down. So we'll see what goes down there. That's gonna definitely kick off the season. And then from there, it's gonna be all weekend. It's gonna be football, whether it's college or NFL. So it's gonna really get busy. It's gonna really start picking up, and I'm finally gonna start kicking out all these episodes and actually have stuff to talk about. That I like to talk about, which is football. I love football. So that's what's going down this week in the NFL world. We've already had some college games going on. There were some really good ones already. The ones that I really liked, here, let me look them up just because there's quite a bit of them. But that Notre Dame and Ohio State game was very good. It was very back and forth the whole first half. The whole first half was all just back and forth. Each team, bam, bam. Nobody could pull away. It was very even, very close. And then the second half came, and Ohio State was able to make the adjustments that Notre Dame didn't, because Ohio State basically did whatever they wanted to, and mainly they ran the ball wherever they wanted to. They really ran the ball very well. They had a really good 1-2 punch in Henderson and Williams. Williams really took over in the fourth quarter in this one, I think it was a 70-yard drive or something like that. I mean, he literally pretty much carried the whole thing, that whole drive. And Notre Dame didn't have an answer for that. But like I said, they looked good. They looked good under their first-year head coach. I really like that head coach. I think he's going to be really good for that squad, or for that program in general. You could just tell he looks like he's gonna be there for a very long time. And they put up a good fight, like I said, in the whole first half, and then the Ohio State definitely made some changes, and they just took over the whole second half, and it was just a different game. But it was a great game. It was a really, really great game. I really enjoyed watching it. I'm pretty sure anybody else I was watching enjoyed watching it as well, because it was a really good game. And then, like I said, they just said the floodgates opened for Ohio State in the second half. Let me see here, scores. So there was the one that actually kicked it off that I watched was I believe it was on Thursday night, was West Virginia Pittsburgh, which was a great game, man. It was such a good game. It went down to the very end, but Pittsburgh was able to squeeze that game out and take it away from West Virginia. But that was a great game, man. JT Daniels balled out, and I mean, it was cool because in that game, for those of you that didn't watch this game or didn't know kind of like the story within this game, it's pretty crazy. So there's a quarterback for each team. So West Virginia, their quarterback is JT Daniels. For Pittsburgh, it's Case Slovis. I don't know how to say his first name, so I don't want to chop it up, but I know his last name Slovis. Well, anyways, both these guys played at USC, right? Well, JT Daniels started, and then he got hurt, and then Slovis started, and he played very well, and pretty much JT lost his job to him. So JT transferred to Georgia. JT went to Georgia, and same thing pretty much happened there. He got hurt, and then the backup played really well, so they just stuck with the backup. So JT ended up going to West Virginia this year. Slovis ended up transferring to Pittsburgh this year because, the NIL deal thing opened up. So, all these transfers just went everywhere. USC actually took Pittsburgh's best wide receiver, which was the best wide receiver in the nation last year. He legit won the award for it. He actually went into the transfer portal and took off to USC. So Slovis, at the time, he was a starting quarterback at USC. he ended up transferring to Pittsburgh because the quarterback from Oklahoma, which is Caleb Williams. I know this is all over the place, so it's kind of hard to keep up. But the quarterback from Oklahoma, Caleb Williams, he ended up transferring to USC. So as soon as that happened, it basically was like, yo, Slovis, like, you're not going to start over this guy. Because the head coach now, which is Lincoln Riley, was also Oklahoma's old coach. But anyways, in this game, basically both the guys that were, the quarterbacks at USC were playing against each other. And it was really cool to see. They were going back and forth. They both played very well. I mean, it literally came down to the very end. They didn't play bad. The quarterbacks played well. It was a great game. There also was a Central Michigan and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State won that game. I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch the Wake Forest one either, which Wake Forest won. On Friday, Michigan State played. They won. I didn't watch it. And then yesterday, of course, Saturday, which is literally college football Saturday, all the games are going on. Bama dominated. Ohio State, just talked about that one. Oregon and Georgia, Georgia straight just demolished them, man. And Georgia's got a really great freshman safety in that number 29 kid. Let me see if I can find his name. He's really good, especially for him being a freshman. Like, it's like, yo, he's gonna be a problem. He had a very, very good game. Let me see here. Yeah, let me find him real quick. Oh, Christopher Smith. Oh no, he's a senior. My bad. Christopher Smith, this senior right here, he balled out, man. You're out there, Chris. You had a great game, man. He had a really, really good game. He was all over the field. But yeah, it was a great game for Georgia. Definitely like a statement game for them, because just the way they just destroyed Oregon. Yeah, that's not normal. I don't like Oregon because I'm a USC fan, so I really despise Oregon, but I still got the respect factor that I do acknowledge they've been a great team the past decade. So for them to get blown out like that, that's not normal. But Georgia is the defending champs, and they did look really good. Georgia also had a really good receiver. Right here, number 84. Let me find him. They have the best tight end in the nation. I was telling my roommate, we were watching the game. I was like, just make sure you remember the name Brock Bowers. That kid's gonna be a all-time great tight end. You could just tell from the get-go. He's got the build. He looks like it. He could block. He could catch. He could run the routes. He could do whatever you need him to do. He's definitely gonna be a tight end U type of guy. He's definitely gonna be invited there. That's for sure. Let me find this kid though. McConkey. Lad McConkey. Yeah, this kid right here is a sophomore. He had a really good game. He reminded me, they use him a lot like a Wes Welker type, like one of those kind of like slot type of players, like a Tyler Lockett type kind of player. Like a Hunter Renfro, those kind of players. They use him really a lot like that. And he excelled. Like, he had a great game. Any route or anything that he ran it great because he was open all the time. Yeah, they just looked really, really good. They looked really, really good. And it is the first game though, and the SEC. It's stacked. It's a stacked division, the best division in all college football. So we'll see what ends up happening for them. So that game went on. Here, let's see here. Texas A&M shut out Sam Houston. My goodness. Florida and Utah was a great game. I've been watching college football for such a long time. So I've been watching Florida since, like Tim Tebow was there and all that stuff. I know for some of you might be like, oh, that's it. And it's like, to me, I haven't been watching sports for that long. I started watching sports like in 2001, man. So I started late. I had to really everything that I learned, anything that I know before that, I had to really learn on it and like really had to do my own research on stuff like that. But this Utah and Florida game was a really great game. It came down to the very wire as well. Utah was ranked seventh. They were ranked top 10th. They went into Gainesville, and Florida was able to squeak away with the win. How Florida's now ranked honestly kind of blows my mind because I'm used to seeing Florida being ranked. Just because like I've just always never seen them not ranked or not being good. Like I've just seen them being at least consistent, you know, like at least 50-50. So for them not to be ranked, I mean they're obviously going to be ranked after this game, being the top 10 team. But it went back and forth, man. I tuned in to watch the very last, pretty much the very last drive of this game, and because I was watching the Ohio State and Notre Dame game, and yeah, so Utah was starting to drive, and I mean they were going, they were about to score, they were right there, and then one of Florida's, I forget what his name was here. I'll find his name, but he made a beautiful pick, man, just a gorgeous pick, and it was awesome, and also too like the quarterback made an awesome play, man. He made like a, like if they make if they can make a run, they definitely he definitely that definitely would be like one of his Heisman moments, cause it was a great it was a great scramble what he did, and then to throw it, like it was just awesome. He did a great job. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find that that receiver. Oh no, it was a corner. Where are the corners at, boys? Dang it. I think it was Kimber, right? No, that don't sound right. Oh man, this sucks. I feel like I should know this one. Let me see here. But yeah, it was like I was saying, it was a great game. It came down to the very end, and then that corner just came up big. He came up big in the end zone and made that interception. It was game over. It was game over. The whole place went crazy. It was awesome. It was really cool to see. It was really cool to see that. Here, I can't find that name, so I'm just gonna keep it pushing. Michigan dominated. They beat Colorado State. Oklahoma dominated. They beat University of Texas El Paso. Baylor dominated. This North Carolina State and East Carolina game was very good as well, man. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for East Carolina's kicker, man. He had not one chance but two chances to win the game, and he didn't come through clutch, boys. He didn't come through clutch, boys. And I just felt so bad, man, because like you could just imagine that feeling, like because this is the first game of the season too. So you win this game, you play a pimping on campus, you miss those, you miss both of those, man. That's tough, boys. That's tough. But yeah, it sucked to see that because it was such a good game. It was such a good game. It was such a good back and forth game. I was able to catch that game. And it really sucked to see it end like that because, like I said, you feel bad. You feel bad for the kicker, but it happens, man. When you watch sports long enough, you see stuff like that, and then we get to, of course, my squad, USC. We straight smacked Rice. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, we straight cooked Rice afterwards. Y'all should be named Cooked Rice after this, for real. Cause we straight stomped them out. We put on a good show, especially on defense. I think we had I think it was like four pick sixes, I think. in this game. Like, if I'm not joking, it was actually three pick sixes. So I mean, our defense looked really good. On offense, we looked really good. But then against, it's against Rice. No against Rice. No offense against you guys. Um, but it's just these other teams. That's who's gonna test us. Like Stanford, who always tests us. Oregon always tests us. UCLA always tests us recently. So we'll see. The Pac-12 still isn't an easy division to get through. Some people might see it like that. That's because they don't watch it. Arizona State's still out there, who has a great coaching staff and some good players. So Utah's always good, even though they just lost. So we'll see. I mean, it's not a walk in the park in the Pac-12. Miami dropped 70. I mean, they straight dominated Wisconsin. They skunked them. They didn't even let them score. Straight goose egg. Cincinnati and Arkansas was a really, really good game as well. That was another really good game. That was only a touchdown game. They were both ranked 19-23. So I mean, they're very even. And obviously you could tell because it was a great game. But Arkansas was able to pull away with the win, which is pretty crazy because Cincinnati, I mean, they didn't lose a game till the playoffs last year, basically, They were like undefeated basically all last year. And they start off this year already with the loss, so that's already pretty sure that's pretty hard. Kentucky won, Ole Miss won. Houston and this University of Texas San Antonio, that was a great game. I watched the highlights on that game because I didn't watch it, but they went into 3 overtimes. That was a great game. If you haven't watched the highlights on that, I'd recommend to go check that out. It was a really, really good game at the very end of the day, though. Houston's quarterback was able to roll out and able to jump into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, which gave Houston the win. Great game. Great game. And then BYU dominated South Florida. And then tonight, I believe, who is it? Because tomorrow night on Labor Day, it's going to be Clemson against Georgia Tech. So everybody tune in to watch that game if you like college football. Let me see here. Where was that other one at? There's someone else playing today, and I need to find out who that is. And it is Florida State and LSU. That's what's thrown down today on ABC at 4:30 Pacific time. So if you're Eastern, obviously it's 7:30. Which should be a good game because I mean, historically these are two of the biggest names in college football. LSU just won a national championship 2019. That's not too long ago. Florida State has always been, even like Florida, they've just been consistent. Like, they haven't been too dominant, but they've just been consistent, like they haven't been horrible either. Florida State has had some horrible seasons, but, they haven't been too bad. So we'll see what goes on there. I do got LSU winning this game, though. It's at, Death Valley, so the place is going to be going crazy. The energy is going to be wild. I got Clemson dominating Georgia Tech tomorrow. But that's basically what's been going on in the college football world. This is going to be a very long one for you guys, so I hope you guys have been wanting to hear your boy for a while because we got a lot of sports to talk about, boys. I'm super, and girls, of course. Can't forget about my women. And we got a lot of sports to be talking about. So yes, that's basically what happened in the college football world. In the NBA world, there's been some stuff that's been going on. Like Patrick Beverley got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, which if you've been hearing my podcast, I actually asked about that. I said, as soon as he got traded to the Utah Jazz, I said, it'd be cool if we were able to get Beverley on the Lakers. I just feel like he'd mesh well with Westbrook. Both those personalities I just feel like that they would mesh very well. People think that just because they got him that the Lakers are going to trade Russell Westbrook right away, but they haven't. And I don't know if it's because people just don't want to take Russell Westbrook's contract on or whatever. That's the only thing I could think of. Because I mean, obviously, like from every headline that I've seen, the Lakers have like given the teams what they wanted, and teams at the end of the day have just been like, "Nah, we're good." So we need to see what's going on there because they're obviously willing to give out the first round picks and the players, and the teams just don't want to make the trades. So I don't know what's going on there. Um, but honestly, I honestly would really like to see Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly play side by side. Like that would be cool. Like just imagine how annoying these two guys would be to these other squads. You know, so we'll see what happens. Cause I mean, Donovan Mitchell got traded, which to me, like, it just blew my mind where he got traded to, because it's just like, man, like I was reading this thing talking about a 3-team trade that where Donovan Mitchell would land at the Knicks, and then the Lakers would be able to land Cam Reddish, which I think would be an awesome pick because I like Cam Reddish and he's a really good sniper. He can shoot, and that's what the Lakers need. They need swappers. They need guys that can shoot. Um, so but he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which threw me off. Which I think is still dope though, because at the end of the day, I'm always root for Cleveland. I'm always root for the Cavaliers because LBJ. So that was really cool to see that he went there. And that's just one domino though. I feel like there's gonna be more, like Patrick Beverly getting traded to the Lakers. I feel like that was just the first domino. I feel like there's gonna be more trades happening. Whether Russell Westbrook gets traded or not, we'll see. The popular one that the internet keeps popping up is Miles Turner and Buddy Hield for Westbrook. Which that would be an awesome trade too, but we'll see. I feel like the way Ham is building this Lakers team, I feel like he really wants to build it more like that 04 Pistons team. Like those Pistons teams where it was just more, hey, we're just gonna like just suffocate you on defense, like we're just gonna swarm you, and then we're just gonna have a good enough offense to win. Kind of like how the Lakers won in 2020, honestly. They didn't really have too many crazy knockdown jumpers, snipers. It was mainly just uh, Cardwell Pope, and then probably sometimes maybe Kuzma when he would catch fire. Sometimes Caruso. So yeah, like it was just kind of those kind of things. We'll see what happens though. I feel like those are the first dominoes. Though. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more movement. Maybe Kyrie and KD get traded. I really don't believe the Nets saying that they're gonna keep them, and that everything's kumbaya now. I feel like something was said, and they was pretty much said like, "Hey, this was gonna happen. You had to be cool with it, basically." And that's just what it is. So I just feel like there'll be more moves going on. Also there too, there's another huge news that Chet Holmgren, the number 2 pick overall, is out for the rest of the season because he hurt his foot doing that pro am that crossover over in Seattle, up in here in Seattle. Yeah, he's out for the rest of the year, man, which is crazy, which is nuts. Like this is what happened to him is what every NBA team fears, and that's probably why they don't like seeing their star players playing in these pro AMs. Exactly for what happened to Chet, because it's like, look, now you're done for the year, all because you're pretty much playing in a exhibition game, in a game that doesn't matter, in a game that we don't pay you for. That's the way obviously they see it, the owners and stuff. And it sucks because I was super excited. If you've been watching my podcast, I've been super excited to watch Chet because I really think he's the second coming of KD, if not better, because he's better already defensively, younger. KD was way ahead offensively. But that's KD. And Chet will eventually get there too offensively, but I feel like Chet's better defensively right now because his timing's just perfect, especially when it comes to blocking. So, speedy, hopefully, a hopeful speedy recovery for Chet. Hopefully, you come back even stronger next year. Because, we excited to see y'all, man. It sucks to see that Chet's going to be gone for the year, but, there's also good news that Zion's going to be back this season. So, I mean, it's going to, the Pelicans are going to be dangerous, man. They were a dangerous team last year, and they were giving teams fits last year, and that was without Zion. So imagine having Zion now back. Like, Zion's a beast, man. Like, he was over here snatching balls literally out of Giannis's hands, and Giannis is having both hands on it. Zion just straight grabbing it and snatching it out of his hands. My ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just straight G-punking freaking people on the court, bro. Zion's a beast, man. Like, he's just one of those just rare guys. Like, he's legit Broly, bro. Like, everybody else is saying, and there's Broly. Like, it's like, shit, here we go. Like, that's how I see Zion. I see Zion as that dude's Broly on the court, bro. But it's gonna be really exciting to see him. But yeah, like I said, there's been a lot of NBA players doing these pro AMs, and some of them have been going pretty good. Like I was seeing one of Steph and Trae Young being teammates, and they were just schwapping all over the place, bro. Like, damn, like it was nasty. And then I seen one with John Wall and PG. John Wall looked good, but then again, we'll see how it is against the NBA talent and the NBA youngins. Because he's going to have to guard guys like Ja, who is going to get a signature shoe here recently, which I'm super excited for. And I knew he was going to be the first one. I forgot who I was talking to about it. But I knew that Ja was going to be the first one to get his first Nike shoe. Because they were talking about AD, him, and then who else? I forgot who else that's a youngin' that's Nike. And but yeah, and I was just like, nah, it's gonna be Ja, man. They're like, there's no way. Ja's he's just that guy right now, especially for the youth. The youth loves Ja. He's really dope. He's cool. I like Ja. So good for him. Especially he's just having a great year so far. I mean, he just got paid. Season's about to start. He's about to get his own shoe. It's good for him. Good for him, man. What else has been going on in the world? Let's see here. So there's also been going on in the UFC world. Usman got knocked out, man. Damn, it sucks. Because that's my boy. I love Usman, man. I really like Usman. But, man, he got knocked out. I mean, it sucked, man. Because, like, the fight was pretty much over, man. And he just got sloppy, man. Give credit to Edwards because, he set him up perfect. He made Usman do exactly what he wanted to, especially when you watch it in slow-mo. You see Usman do exactly what Edwards wanted him to do, and that's dip his head. And as soon as he dipped his head, mocos, bro. Madres. Just straight to the face, bro. And he was like, oh, man, it sucked to see that, bro. It sucked to see him get knocked out because he was out. He didn't get his jaw broken like Kobe did, but it's all good. So, congrats to Edwards, man. It was cool to see him. It was cool to see those raw emotions. Seeing, that all that hard work and all that time that he's put into his craft and just everything, all the sacrifices. Because many of the sacrifices that you cry for because, you feel bad about all the time that, you took away from basically your family. Because I think he's a family man. I'm pretty sure he's married with kids. So, and especially, everything that, you go through as a kid and then you finally get to hold that belt, it was cool to just see those emotions from him. It was awesome. Also, too, Pena lost her fight to to what's her face? I don't know why I just went blank. Amanda Nunes. I just went blank on it. I just had it and then just like I went blank. Amanda Nunes just dominated her. She dropped her like 4 times. And she just kept taking her to the ground and just ground and pound, man. Like she just really just she physically dominated her, like just physically, just dominated Juliana, man. It sucked to see because I wanted Juliana to win, obviously, because she's she's Spokane native, so it's always cool to see anybody from Washington rep. But she'll be back. I know she'll be back. And now we'll just see who Nunez decides to fight next. Last night we got to watch Whitaker fight. He fought the Vittori guy, and Whitaker just dominated him. That Vittori guy, like, I don't know what he was doing, man. It's like, because I was watching the weigh-in before, the pre-weigh-in, and he didn't even shake Whitaker's hand or anything. He was kind of being smug. He was being like a scumbag. And then for him to put on that kind of performance, like, dude, he didn't even throw anything. Like, it's like, bro, like you're gonna act like that, and then you're not even gonna really even fight. Like, bro, Whitaker pieced him up, bro. Like, I'm surprised. Like, Whitaker should have knocked him out, but he just didn't get the chance to. I mean, he obviously has a good chin. Pause. And but yeah, Whitaker dominated. So we'll see what happens there because he's the number one contender, and he's already been beat twice by the champion. So we'll see who he has to fight next. And then Kane also beat that one guy that likes to drink out of people's shoes when he wins. Yeah, he knocked him out yesterday. But what I didn't like about that guy that likes to drink out of the shoes is there was like 3 times where he acted like he was hurt, and then as soon as Gain went in, he ended up swinging like if he was just like perfectly like normal. And it's like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, what's up with that bait shit? Like, come on, man. Like, don't be fighting like that. It wasn't cool to see that. But yeah, Gain straight knocked him out, and he obviously called out Francis because Francis was there too, on the sideline. So we'll see, if Francis ends up wanting to fight him again, because Francis, honestly, I think Francis did fight him already and beat him already. So we'll see what happens there. This weekend we got Chimaev and Nate Diaz fighting, which I think is gonna be a dope fight. But I think Chimaev's just gonna fucking destroy Diaz though, which is gonna suck because I like Diaz, but he's gonna get mopped. There's been nothing in his past fights that has made me be like, oh yeah, he's got a chance. I think he'll win. So yeah, I don't see Diaz winning. Also too, there's been some boxing going on in the boxing world. Anthony Joshua lost to Usyk again, like I said, he would. Just because Usyk's a problem, man. He just moves too well. He's too unorthodox. Like, he just hits you from different angles. Pause. And he's just so good. I really like Usyk. I really do like Usyk. And, just the way AJ acted after he lost just says everything about Joshua. And I don't want to hear no excuses, because there's always excuses. Oh, well, he could be going through something, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's always an excuse for this guy anytime he has a temper tantrum. Like, no, man, maybe this is just who this kid is, And I just feel like that's who AJ is. Like, he legit threw the belts, threw a tantrum, was talking smack about Usyk, and then when he was seeing that he was getting out of line, then he tried, like, making up for it, and, started complimenting Usyk, talking about a warrior, talking about, how he's fighting, while the war is going on. And then he started talking about how he grew up, and, the, like, pretty much the struggle that he grew up in. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, dude, just you got your ass whooped, bro. He's better than you. It's just that simple. He's better than you at boxing. That's just what happens, man. That's what happens when you end up having to fight the best of the best. It gets hard. It's not easy fighting the best of the best. That's why when they fight each other and whoever wins, that's why everybody, crowns this person, and it always stays like that unless it changes. Because it's hard, man. Once you start fighting those top 5 fighters in the world, it's hard. It's not easy. So Usyk wins again. We'll see who he ends up fighting next. We'll see if he fights Fury next or not. Me personally, I don't think he'll fight Fury next. I don't think Fury wants to see him. Um, then you got Ruiz fighting tonight. He fights King Kong. King Kong Ortiz fights tonight with him. So we'll see. We'll see who wins that fight. I got Ruiz winning. I think Ruiz will win that fight. I think he's got more in the tank. I think he's just a cleaner boxer. I think he'll get the win tonight. And then you also got news that Tank and Ryan Garcia are really close to finalizing a fight to see who's gonna fight each other. Well, not fight each other, but I don't know. I just chopped that whole shit up. My bad. They're finalizing the contracts to have Tank and Ryan Garcia fight each other. So me personally, I think that Tank's gonna destroy this kid. I don't think it's gonna be close. And it's gonna suck because I think Ryan Garcia is cool. It's just when it comes to these top 5 fighters, I just don't think he could beat any of them. Honestly, I really don't. I really don't think he could beat any of them. And so if he ends up if this is true and he ends up fighting Tank, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if he does back up that talking that he has been talking, because they've been going back and forth for like the past 5 years, 6 years. So we'll see if that really does happen. But if that does happen, like I said, I got Tank winning by a long shot. I don't even see it being close. I got like a lot of people say, I got Tank by murder. I just I just don't think it would be good for Ryan to take that fight. But he says he's ready for it. So if he says he's ready for it, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, that's basically all that's been going on that basically like a recap of what's been going on. Obviously there's been more stuff going on, but this is just the main stuff that I went back that I wanted to go back on to talk about. So yeah, it feels good to be back, and like I said, I'm gonna be pumping a lot of these more out. Now that there's gonna be more stuff to talk about, I'll definitely do one probably here on Wednesday or maybe Tuesday, because there's a game tonight and then the game tomorrow. But obviously I'm definitely gonna do one for on Friday for Thursday night's game. And then, like I said, then next week it's gonna be all football all weekend. So we're back. It's gonna be fun. In the comment section, I want you guys to put your favorite college football team and your favorite NFL team. I want to see who you guys all root for. Because it's cool. It's cool to pay attention to different other teams. Because in college football, I watch pretty much any team that's on TV. So. If it's especially, if it's a team that I usually don't watch, and I see it on the comment section, I'll definitely watch it. In the NFL, I'm definitely watching every team because, it's only 32. And then I play fantasy football. So I'm in 3 leagues this year. I don't know how many you guys are in this year, but I'm in 3 of them. I'm in my big money league. I'm in my work league. And then I'm in my pretty much my cousin and family's league. So yeah, I'm in 3 of them. I love it. I love fantasy football. I don't know about you guys, but me, I always make the killing with the rookies. Because, obviously, I'm a huge college football guy. So, like last year, I made a killing because I got Jamar Chase. And for some odd reason, for the past 3 years in my big money league, I've been able to get Cooper Kupp. I know, obviously, people are going to sleep on him this year. Obviously, someone's going to take him a lot higher. But, the past couple of years I've been getting Cooper Kupp. But, this past year I got Jamar Chase. Chris Carson, when he was a rookie, I got him when he had a good season. There's just been quite a bit of play. Yeah, like Renfro. Renfro was another one. Because a lot of people didn't know him coming out of Clemson. I did because, I just always seen him being Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch. Yeah, just a bunch of players that I've been able to hit on as rookies, especially receivers. Like this year, it's gonna be awesome to see the rookie receivers, because I know a lot of them, and a lot of them got drafted this year. There was a ton of rookie receivers this year. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited, and yeah, football's back, guys. I probably should. You know what? Before we end this, I'm gonna talk about the Seattle Seahawks. I haven't even talked about that team yet. My team, basically. So we pretty much bring everybody back that we did last year. The one thing that I did see, though, that there was a lot of turnover in was in the cornerback position, obviously. But we got two really good young corners. I really like Woolen and Bryant. I feel like they're gonna be really, really good, especially Bryant. My goodness, like his instincts are just next level. Obviously Kenneth Walker made it because Chris Carson retired. Penny, Homer, DJ Dallas, who I'm so glad. I just feel like those are four solid running backs for us, for the style of football that we play. I feel like they just fit perfect. And the receiving core is where you've seen a lot of change. That's the one where I was like, whoa, like, okay, yeah, there's only like two guys that that I know that pretty much that I remember here. Let me see here if I could find. Excuse me. Who are, because basically like our whole receiving core, besides sorry about that, guys. Besides Lockett and DK is all rookies. Like, for real. So let me see here. Our offensive line looks good. I like the two rookies. Tackles obviously made it, Lucas and Cross. Lucas, I feel like, honestly, eventually is gonna end up being our left tackle. Honestly, because from what it looks like Cross isn't doing too good, and it looks like from what I've been seeing, it seems like Lucas has been doing really good. So excuse me, yes. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I feel like we're really gonna surprise teams. Even like people think that the Seahawks are like, oh, they're in rebuilding mode. Pretty basic, like they're gonna suck, and it's like, nah. Like, I feel like y'all, like, people are gonna be extremely, extremely surprised on how good the Seahawks are gonna be this year. I'm obviously not gonna be surprised, but that's just because I'm seeing the kind of team it is, and who's all coming back, and honestly, it's just the biggest spot. But it's obviously the spot that you can't be, mediocre at, and that's in QB. And so I don't know, who knows? We could end up, people keep on saying that Jimmy G is gonna end up in Seattle. So we'll see what happens there. So oh yeah, Diestrix made it. And then let's see here. Man, I'm super excited for Kenneth Walker, for real, man. Like, if you're a Seahawks fan, I'm letting you guys know right now, be super excited for Kenneth Walker. Marquise Godwin, he made the squad, which I'm super excited for because he's speedster, man. Lockett, of course. Penny Hart, who's been with Seattle forever, a special teams guy. Comes through clutch, super fast. He's a fast guy. Rashad Penny. Artie Burns, he's a corner that came from the Bears. Sidney Jones, Washington resident, went to Washington University. He comes back. Travis Homer, who I really like, from the U. You know what I'm saying? He's been with us. We drafted him. I think he was I think he was a late rounder, like a 7th rounder for us. Really good. I really like Travis Homer, and he got bigger. Like, you could tell he's been in the weight room, so he's ready. To take the NFL punishment. Ryan Neal's back. John Reed's back. Michael Jackson, who had just a great preseason. He was all over the field. I kept hearing that name a lot this preseason. Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. Like he definitely earned his spot this year. In on the Seahawks squad, you got DJ Dallas. Come on, bro. That picture's hilarious, dog. Jamal Adams, of course, one of the best safeties in the NFL. And Joey Blunt, who had a really good preseason as well. Um, Woolen, the rookie safe corner, the one I was telling you about. I'm really excited to see him. Josh Jones, I heard his name quite a bit during preseason. Nick Bellore, Mr. I Could Do It All, basically. I mean, honestly, I'd like to have see Bellore at linebacker, man. He plays, man. He's a football player, straight up. I don't even know how to pronounce this name, but it's Joshua, number 49, a linebacker. I remember seeing him a lot in the preseason. Darrell Taylor, of course. Come on, man. This guy's gonna have a big year, man. Remember that name. Boye Mafe. I believe he was our second pick. So he's a rookie linebacker. He had an alright preseason. We'll see how he does in the season. Jordan Brooks, come on now. Cody Barton, which I still like. Smart linebacker. He's been with us since the get-go. We drafted him. So we'll see how he does this year. I feel like it's a make or break year for him this year. If he doesn't do good, I feel like we'll probably let him go after this year. Phil Haynes, he's been with us for a while as well. I think he's fighting for a starting spot. Like they really actually like him as a starter. Kyle Fuller, who's been with us for a while, been backing up. I've been back and forth between center and guard because just depending on who gets hurt. Austin, who came from the Chiefs, who's our starting center. Gabe Jackson, come on now. Cross, our number 1 pick. Damon Lewis, there he is. Ott, who's our long snapper, who's been with us forever. Who else here? Lucas, who I was just telling you about. Curran, I don't see how he keeps making the squad. I feel we could use another, I don't know, maybe something. I mean, what's his name? Jason Peters was out there, man. Like, come on, man. Quentin Jefferson's back. I did not know that. Oh, nice. Defensive end. Stone, who was he was one of our draft picks, like 2 years ago, I believe. Still hasn't really been on the field at all, like really, like legit at all. And then you got Young, the receiver, who they really like. Parkinson, who I feel is gonna have a big season as well, because I mean, dude, the guy's 6'7". I mean, it's gonna be really hard not to not hit this guy. I feel like we're gonna have a really good tight end core this year. Noah Fant, of course. Will Disley, like I said. Brian Moan. LJ Collier, who still, he just really hasn't panned out, He's one of the few that hasn't really panned out. But we'll see. Who knows? He could turn it up this year. He could just have that one of those years this year. Shelby Harris, who of course came and was one of those guys that came from that Broncos deal. Miles Adams, who had a great preseason. I really like this guy. Really high motor. I mean, he's just on the go all the time. I really like this kid. I liked him a lot. Puna Ford, and then Alton Robinson, who I hope could stay healthy because, gosh, man, him and Taylor, on opposite ends, they're just so good because they're just so fast and strong. Like, I like them. And then Al Woods rounds up the roster. But yeah, that's the Seahawks, and like I said, I feel like we'll be all right. I feel like we're gonna be all right. But you guys, that's gonna be it for today. Like I said, I'm so excited to be back. I really miss every single one of you guys. I love every single one of you guys. I hope every single one of you guys have been good and great, and y'all just keep on doing what you guys are doing, and just keep on being that blessing that you are to the people around you.
Yeah, there's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, so you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life.